This video is sponsored by PotownStore.com, the best place for you to get TCGO code cards. They already have Darkness Ablaze up on stock, so definitely check out the website and use the coupon code ZapdosTCG for 5% of your next order. They have a huge variety of code cards, so you'll definitely find something you like. Also, this video is sponsored by cardmarket.com. This is a platform I personally use every day. If you're from Europe, you're obligated to check out this website. You can purchase cards on here as well as sell your own cards to people all across Europe, and they have huge bargain sales right here as well as bestsellers, and you can even purchase physical cards, for instance booster boxes of the new set. So definitely check it out. Both of my sponsors, PotownStore.com as well as cardmarket.com. A new rap, you thought I were got some new facts for days and beyond, just relax and come along. Reviews are back, we can't do wrong. Shocking vault, good cards involved, I have been told the game evolved. The maxers are now everywhere, the power creep seems unfair, but Siddhinja doesn't really care. With 10 HP, you're getting scared, spreading decks, get Telephoto Scope. That does bring a little bit of hope, Salamence is now ready to be dope. Bench Pokemon on the slippery slope, some cards bring ability blocks, tough lock for the Siddhinja. More cards can now one shot, Leon is better than you first thought. Talonflame brings protection, see for bad hands and Marnie. So join me on this journey and learn about the new feeds. We cover them all from A to Z, and I wonder what the best will be. Yes, a new episode, folks. Shock Involved review. Hopefully you guys are ready. What's up YouTube, it's Zapdos TCG here and welcome back to another TCG episode on my channel. So we're going to be exploring the Shocking Volt tackle set that actually came out recently in Japan, and this is also going to be part of our English set, Vivid Voltage, coming out on the second Friday of the month, November, typically. So that's going to be awesome. Vivid Voltage, an amazing set, because there's going to be new archetypes coming with this, especially like one price decks in the form of Garbodor. There's a new Zapdos cards also in this kind of a set. So we're going to be taking a look at the Japanese counterpart to, of course, have a little bit of knowledge before the set comes out in the Western world in November. So all the cards have been revealed. This is only one part of the Vivid Voltage set. The second part will also be revealed later, maybe I think in October, something like that. Anyhow, this is going to be part of our Vivid Voltage set, so we're going to be having some cards to look forward to. I'm going to go through all of the cards and talk about all the interesting cards that might see some competitive use here and there. So if you guys are excited already to just dive into this video, let me know by destroying that like button. And without further ado, let's get this show on the road. The first card that we're going to be talking about is Shiftry. Shiftry, yeah, it's the Hoenn Pokemon, and this guy is actually very insane because it has an ability here. As long as this Pokemon is in the active slot, so people could use boss's orders, or could they? Yeah, if it's in the active slot, the effect of every supporter card in the opponent's hand becomes draw 3 cards. So they typically turn into like a How or a Hop, depending on which, yeah, expanded or standard, doesn't matter. The opponent just can only draw 3 cards. Let's say they are going to use boss's orders. Well, they just automatically draw 3 cards. This is very great for mill decks if you have this in the active slot, because they cannot use boss's orders, so they will have to make sure they knock out the Shiftry in order to just get back their access to their great supporters. So no longer being able to use Marnie, no longer being able to use Melolana and all that could be very nice to see in a meta game. The only unfortunate thing about this card is that it's a stage 2 Pokemon, very hard to get out. Although we do have the stadium card, Turffield Stadium, searching out evolution grass types, and we still have rare candies and all that. But this is a very interesting. This is the first time we've seen an ability like this. And this could actually slow the opponent down. They cannot play Research. If they want to play Research, they only draw 3 cards. If they want to play Marnie to disrupt your hand, doesn't work, they draw 3 cards. If they use boss's orders, nope, it's not working, they draw 3 cards. Very interesting Shiftry, and I wonder if people will try to make a busted Shiftry list. Moving forward, we have Ninjask. Ninjask always has been a weird part of the video games, and this time around it has an amazing ability, making sure you can get out Siddhinja. And if you haven't heard about the intro rap, I talked about Siddhinja briefly there, and Siddhinja is very good, putting the opponent's HP all the way to 10, just like Kartana does, but without the coin flip. So this Ninjask has the ability Shell Out. Once during your turn, when you play this card from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may search your deck for a Siddhinja and put it on the bench if you have a bench slot available. So we're gonna go all the way to Siddhinja right now. There's a lot of cards that we're gonna talk about in this video, so hopefully you guys will enjoy the content that I'm putting out. Siddhinja, yeah. This is gonna be working way better. Siddhinja. Yeah, here we go. And this Siddhinja actually has the ability here. This card can only be put into play with Ninja's Shell Out ability. So this card can even be put into play when setting up a match. So this ability does specifically state that, so you cannot start with this Siddhinja, but this Siddhinja has the Squeeze Life attack, and then you can put damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon until its remaining HP is 10. We've seen it before on Kartana from Unbroken Bonds, but that required a coin flip. We did a little fun video with that and Galarian Slowbro V. Definitely check that video out if you haven't already. But that required a coin flip. This time around, just 3 cards energies and you're good to go, aka a Welder and attach of the turn and you're good to go. The only thing you need is just evolving from Ninjask and you will be awesome. The only unfortunate part about this kind of a card is that it's a basic Pokemon, and not only that, it has 30 HP. In the video games it has 1 HP, and the TCG 30 HP, which means Galarian Zigzagoon and 2 Scoop Ups will make sure you can knock this guy out, but putting the opponent to 10 HP could be seeing a little bit of niche use here and there, because yeah, a lot of people talking about that Ninjask here. Could see some niche play because there's a lot of VMAXs out there, and if you can put the opponent to like 10 HP remaining and then finish the job later with a Galarian Zigzagoon ping, that could be awesome. Maybe you're relying on Galarian Slowbro V to poison the opponent's Pokemon. Maybe you're relying on Garbodor from Rebel Clash. There's a lot of options going around with this kind of a build, and seeing as this is also capable of using the Turffield Stadium, I think this might be some rogue archetype that we might explore in the future. Next up we have a Go-Goat, which is not good. We're gonna not waste any time on that. We have Orbeetle V. Orbeetle V was our first V Pokemon in this video, and it actually is not as good as it seems. Yeah, it is Grass type, weak to fire, not good in metagame, with Blacephalon still running wild. Also with Centiskorch recently winning the Atlas tournament, so Centiskorch is around. Being weak to fire is a huge problem. You could be running weak guard energy, and I think that is going to be the way you should play Orbeetle V. It actually slaps 50 damage. This attack does 30 more for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So if the Centiskorch has a lot of energies, you can dish out a lot of damage. It's very similar to X-Ball or Victini V's attack. We have Orbeetle V Max. I do love this card a little bit more. You definitely need weak guard energies in your list, otherwise the fire decks will eat you alive. You also might require Big Chomp to have more HP because you want to stay alive turn after turn after turn because of the amazing ability Wonder Beam. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, you may put 1 damage counter on each of the opponent's Pokemon. Even the active and the bench, everybody gets damage. This is going to be ridiculously, if you could just compare it with like Switch, going to another Orbeetle VMAX and do it again. Then you're going to use another Switch, another Orbeetle, and then out of nowhere, everybody has a ton of damage counters. Then maybe you could be playing Sableye with this, just using this guy for the ability, and then Sableye can one-shot everything. You do need some turbo patches in there. Or just play Orbeetle as itself. It does 50 damage for 50 more for every energy attached to the opponent's active. And that can stack up very well if you can consider that the ability also spreads damage around every single time. So, Orbeetle VMAX. I wonder if people will try it out. I do love the ability. Putting 1 damage counter on everything opens the door to so many tech cards. We've seen it before with like the Dugong and Mad Party. Being able to slap 60 damage to 2 of the opponent's targets. And this could also be kind of like a great way you can go about this. It is a VMAX though, but very easy to get out. Next up, there is a Charizard. Yeah, people that love Charizard will already know that in the Champions Path coming out very shortly here in the Western world, that Charizard is a beloved Pokemon, being able to, of course, get a secret rare shiny form as well as a rainbow rare VMAX form. There's a lot of hype about Charizard, but there's also one price Charizard in this specific set, and this guy has the ability Battle Sense. Once during your turn, you will look at the top 3 cards of your deck, put one of them directly in the hand and discard the other card. So if you're running Fire Crystal, discard some energies, very nice synergy, but you want to be discarding Leon, because if you have a lot of Leons in your discard pile, this attack is insane. It states here, this attack does 50 damage for each Leon in your discard pile. So how I see this working out, this is 100 damage base, and then for every Leon, 50 extra damage. Imagine there's 4 Leons in your discard pile. That is possible. You slap 300 damage with this, with only a welder. So what you want to do is play Oranguru from Sword and Shield, use that Primate Wisdom ability, putting those Leons on top, maybe running like 4 Pokegears could be a thing, then putting those cards on top of the deck and then discard them with the ability. So that could be awesome, right? So Charizard with like maybe 2 Orangurus, Welder, and then 4 Leons, which you want to find out very shortly. Maybe you could play even Magneton to get 3 Leons in your hand directly and then just discard them with Quick Ball or Research. There's a lot of things possible, and slapping 300 damage on the one prize Pokemon that keeps coming is amazing. The only bad thing about this is it's a stage 2, so it's a little bit slow, but if you can get it going, 300 damage. Wow, Charizard does love dishing out a lot of damage. That's even like, yeah, the VMAX also dishes out 300 damage, so maybe with some Zigzagoon pings here and there, you could be seeing like a niche like tier 2 or maybe tier 3 archetype. That all depends on how good you can get it out. Next up is Flareon. If this Pokemon has Memory Capsule attached, each grass Pokemon in play has no abilities. Now we're gonna go over to the Memory Capsule in general, because we also have Vaporeon, which does this, as well as Jolteon. And the Memory Capsule states here, it's a tool card, and the Pokemon this tool card is attached to can use all of its attacks from the previous evolutions. Very great for VMAXs that have great underneathing attacks, like for instance, the basic V has a great attack that you want to use. You want the HP of the VMAX, that's great. Or maybe a stage 2 wants to use something like Flail, for instance, on the like Gyarados. This is stage 1 with a lot of HP, but you could use Flail on the weak Magikarps. We've seen it in a lot of forms. Memory Capsule, even in an energy, the Memory Energy. We've seen it before in Stadium cards, so there's a lot of things possible. So Memory Capsule also works for Vaporeon. So the Flareon shuts down grass abilities if it has Memory Capsule attached. The Vaporeon shuts down fire abilities. So I'm thinking, yeah, I'm gonna go back a little bit and talking about the Flareon here. It shuts down Decidueye, a very important part. If you're just having issues against Decidueye, maybe play a 1/1 line of Flareon with that Memory Capsule, and as soon as you get it out, you can wait a little bit because that deck typically does not do a huge amount of damage. Then if you can get this combo out, then Decidueye's ability is gone, and then you can attack it once again. Moving forward, we also have the ability on Vaporeon, shutting down fire abilities. I'm mostly thinking about Heatran GX with the Burning Roach ability, but there could be others, right? I've seen other abilities happening. Volcarona GX, not that people play that, but still, you can shut down any fire Pokemon, its abilities. Maybe the Charizard that I just mentioned. And the Jolteon shuts down the water abilities in play if it has a Memory Capsule attached. Water abilities, very huge. You can shut down Frostmoth instantly with a Jolteon. So I do think these tech cards should be an include in your binder instantly, because as soon as like Frostmoth gets very popular, you can tech in that. If Decidueye is the best deck in town, you can tech in the Flareon. So I do love the evolutions quite a bit. Evolutions are good, and I think I will definitely try out something if a deck gets too popular. Next up, Macargo, nothing to sneeze at, not good at all. Talonflame V is something I love very much. It has the fast flight attack. If you go first, you can use this attack on your first turn. Discard your hand and draw 6 cards. So even if it's not your first turn, I do believe you can still use the attack. A little bit like Fast Rate, I think, like with Pheromosa GX back in the day, that you could use it on your first turn. So this is awesome because you discard your hand and draw 6 cards. Typically, you would say, I don't have a Quick Ball in my hand. Maybe if you just have like a couple of these as your starting lead, you can always rely on the ability to discard your hand and draw 6 cards. Very great in the opening hand if it's a very terrible hand, or maybe in the late phases where you get a reset stamp and you got a Talonflame on board, 1 energy, put it on the front and use it, because you can use it as an attack. I know it seems terrible using a 2-prizer, but and Baby Blacephalon, I'm up for it. Baby Blacephalon used to run like Victini V as another additional 2-prize attacker. This could be even better because it has the damage output of 160 for 3 energies, has 0 retreat, so you can have it as a pivot if you don't have your Jirachis or you don't have a switch just yet. Just promote this, and also a good thing is that it is weak to lightning instead of fire. So I'm yeah, very much a fan of Talonflame V. Will definitely have a slot in my Baby Blance list for sure. You can use Talonflame on the early phases instead of like Zacian as well, because typically those decks would use Quick Ball, get out the Zacian, and use Intrepid Sword, but this is also a way you can go about this. So Talonflame could be an attacker, or you could use it to discard your hand. Let's say your hand is like 5 energies, a Quick Ball, and this, then there's no need to like Quick Ball for the Dene. On the first turn, you can attack. If going second, I still opt to go for the Dene because you can find your Welder, but on the first turn you cannot use supporters anyhow, so Talonflame could be definitely a great approach here. So Vaporeon, we talked about that, shutting down fire abilities, aka Heatran GX. I don't know if there's any other abilities, like in the past we had Macargo GX, but that has been rotated out. Oh yeah, fire abilities cannot be played, and that does not state like V Pokemon or GXs. In general, all the Pokemon with an ability that are fire type cannot use their abilities. Also your own, but don't underestimate these evolutions. We have a new Wailord with 200 HP. 200 HP used to be like very impressive for a one prizer, but seeing as like Zacian V can slap 230 from the bat, I don't think you can stall with this. Also, it has an ability here, whenever you attach a water energy from your hand, heal all special conditions. So if you're paralyzed, you can fix that. If you have been put to sleep, you can fix that as well. So, and also can dish out a lot of damage for every water energy attached to it. So you have to put a lot of resources onto here, but let's say you put 4 water energies in here, you slap 170, which is not the norm for like 4 energies. I don't think it's any good. It's a Wailord, has a 4 retreat cost, so maybe a bodybuilding, not bodybuilding dumbbells. The buff padding could help out, or maybe the, buff padding could help out, putting it to 250. Still not the best HP for one prizer. I know what I'm saying, because if it had better attacks, we would actually take a look at it, but 170 for 4 energies, no thank you. We have a Samurott. It's been a while since we've seen this card from Black and White. It is the water starter from that region. Has the shell armor, takes 30 less damage from attacks. Pretty similar to Dubwool, and its attack actually steps 120. It's a stage 2, it's not good. Galarian Darmanitan V. Okay, this guy, I don't know how to feel about this. It does slap 190 and then it slaps 30 to itself. So for 3 energies, 190. It does get some variety of like V Pokemon out there, but like lots of these, like Eternatus has a lot of HP, Zacian has a lot of HP. What are you gonna do with this guy? It does have the paralyzing attack on a coin flip, but low amount of damage indeed. Then the Galarian Darmanitan VMAX, and also didn't talk about the weakness just yet. Weak to metal, just scratches from the bat. Zacian eats it up, but it does have an attack 200 flat and then 30 on each of the opponent's bench Pokemon. Reminds me of the Kyurem of Noble Victories with Glaciate, 30 on everything, but on those days it was better. The max HP was not that high. Now we have VMAXs running wild, and 30 on everything is not that impressive, definitely considering the fact that people play Scoop Up Net. So even as a spread archetype, I don't know. If you want to play spread, I'm gonna talk about the Salamence V deck that gets better with the tool card very shortly. Next we have Dreadnought, 4 retreat cost and very terrible. Cramorant is back, yeah, everybody's favorite water type bird. Yeah, hashtag I am not a fan of Pelipper. This is better. We have this guy, could be a one prize fun deck for 20 energy. 60 damage, you may discard any number of Arrokuda from your bench. This attack does 60 damage for each Arrokuda you discarded in that way. So this could be the worst nightmare for Centiskorch VMAX, to be honest. It's weak to fire, to water. So Arrokuda, just a basic Pokemon you slap on your bench. You could be playing something like 4 Quick Ball, 4 Great Ball, 4 Communication. Fill your deck up with that. Even this Arrokuda can get out 2 Arrokudas instantly with its attack. And you just play 4 Ordinary Rod, just get your Arrokudas back. Well, let's imagine you have 4 of them on the bench going second. And then you just attach that twin energy and then you slap 240 damage straight from the bat with a Cramorant. 2 prizer, 1 prize Pokemon, dishing out like damage enough to just one-shot Zacians, one-shot Centiskorch VMAX. There's a little bit something to like here, because you discard any number of Arrokuda, so they can also get punished by stuff like the Galarian Zigzagoon or spread damage. It's also funny that the Cramorant is on that artwork. I do love that very much. It also evolves that Arrokuda into a Barraskewda, a very menacing target. Choose one of the opponent's bench Pokemon. This deck does 20 damage for every damage counter on it. So if the opponent decides to like Galarian Zigzagoon you or spread some damage, you can maybe have a one-of in that deck as well to snipe when the opponent least expects it, but I wouldn't be putting that as a... Yeah, it's only like a tier 3 or even a tier 4 archetype. It could be fun though. Fun to try out. Next is Pikachu V. Hooray! The mascot is back. Pikachu, very cool card. The artwork, I love that. Search your deck for 2 lightning energy and attach them to this Pokemon. So it accelerates to itself and it slaps 200 damage for 3 energies. The bad part, Electro Power is gone. So you would need 2 Galarian Zigzagoon Pinks in order to one-shot something like a Zacian. I don't like that. And also accelerating energies to this guy. You could use it going second, but at the point you're doing that, you already get knocked out. Which is funny. Also, we have here the Pikachu VMAX. We've seen it before. We have not seen the attack just yet, but it was one of those Battle Academy decks, I think. 120 damage. You may discard all energy attached to this Pokemon. If you do, actually, it was the raid battles. That was what. You may discard all energies to it. You don't have to, and if you do, 150 damage more. So 270 for 3 lightning energies. If only Thunder Mountain was in play, if only Electric Power was here, then this deck would be very, very good. But now, 270, what's that gonna knock out? Attack Team? And even with tag teams, certain tag teams run Big Charm, other tag teams run the new Stadium card that buffs them from damage. Also, you can accelerate energies, lightning energies with the new Electrode. Electrode here being able to blow itself up. Yeah, just like Magneton, like all of these fellas like using Explosion and all that. And if you knock it out, search your deck for 2 lightning energies and attach them to your Pokemon in any way that you like. Okay, you can get a Tag Bolt GX up in no time, right? Attachment, Tapu Koko Prism Star, blow 2 of these up. I know you give up 2 prize cards, but the Tag Bolt GX on the second turn if you just have insane luck. Yeah, maybe. Electrode might see some niche uses as soon as like lightning comes better. I am missing Electro Power already. Jolting, we talked about that. It shuts down water abilities, mainly Frostmoth's ability. I don't know if there's any other significant water abilities in the TCG right now. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comment section. Next up, we have Zapdos. There we go. New Zapdos card. They keep on the trend on making playable Zapdos cards, which is awesome. This Zapdos card can actually discard all energies attached to it, and if you do, you stop 160 damage to one of the opponent's V or GX Pokemon. So, it punishes V Pokemon and GX Pokemon. I'm all up for it. I'm a guy that typically plays 1 prize decks, which is totally insane for me. The bad news is we don't have Thunder Mountain again, and you can also buff that damage done to the bench up with a tool card, which I'm gonna talk about very soon. It's the Telescope, yeah. A very insane tool card. You definitely need that. Then you can snipe for 190, even punish stuff like the Crobat V. So, I wonder, you can blow up an Electrode, attach off turn, and out of nowhere, Zapdos takes a KO on the Danny. That's always nice. 160 is already the Danny, so don't sleep on this card as soon as we get some better energy acceleration for Lightning. I know Electrode is around, but if we get some Lightning support, Zapdos will be a good card. Definitely put 1 in your binder. It's like the Cramorant V, but it's a 1 prize Pokemon for Lightning decks. Zipstrika, don't even gonna bother with it. It looks very terrible. We have a Dynamo. If any energy is attached to it, it has free retreat, just like the Magnemite did before it. We have Electric. Remember Noble Victories? Yeah, this is not the card. This is a terrible Electric. Electros, 60 damage. During your opponent's next turn, if your opponent attaches an energy from their hand to their Pokemon, play 6 damage counters. So that first attack, 60 damage, and if they attach an energy, 6 damage counters additionally. It's a stage 2. Only needing 1 energy, but still, I don't think it's any good. We have Alakazam V. It was about time we got a new Alakazam card. Fun fact, thanks to Uri Geller, Pokemon Company is not able to print any more Kadabra cards. So either they have to print Abra and the set simultaneously with Rare Candy and Alakazam, or they just do it like this where Alakazam is the basic Pokemon thanks to the V mechanic. So basic Pokemon, first attack, put 3 damage counters on the opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. And then the second attack, 30 damage times the number of cards in your opponent's hands. So, this could pair very well with that Shift-Free card. Shift-Free stage 2 in the active, just let the opponent draw a ton of cards, and then Alakazam strikes out of nowhere. Mind Ruler, ba-bam, getting the huge KOs. It sounds a little bit clunky, but it's a fun deck nevertheless. And they cannot boss's order while you set up your Alakazam, because every supporter they play turns into a hop. Very fun, right? Siddhinja, we talked about that. Putting the opponent to 10 HP is awesome. Dusclops, Dusknoir. Yeah, Dusknoir has the ability, every special ability and each player's Pokemon, attached to each player's Pokemon is now a colorless energy instead of their typical special effect. So, Aurora energy becomes colorless energy. Twin energy becomes colorless energy. Speed lightning energy becomes colorless energy. So lots of these special energies turn into like only a colorless energy. So Dusknoir, if only stage 2s were a little bit splashable like back in the days. I used to play like Kingdra, Magnezone Prime all in one deck because it was a little bit a slower format. Now everything goes down the drain. It's insane. We have Swoobat. Prevents all effects of your opponent's attacks. Yeah, this is bad. Don't care about Swoobat. We have a Whimsicott having a crazy attack here. Fly Away Rush. 10 damage. You may discard as many Pokemon tool cards from your Pokemon as you like. This attack does 40 damage for each Pokemon tool card discarded in that way. For a single Psychic energy, so imagine like in the past we had like Genesect GX, which allowed it to have like multiple tool cards attached. Don't know if we have that in the format just yet, but let's say 6 of your Pokemon have tool cards. That is actually 240 damage, actually 250 damage for a single energy. Don't sleep on that. That could become better if more and more support for it comes out. Imagine like a reprint of Skyfield that everybody can get a bench space of 8. That could be awesome. Imagine there's a Pokemon that can actually attach up two tool cards, and actually an expanded, I think there's a Sigilyph out there that can actually make quick use out of this Whimsicott. Okay, Alcremie, once during your turn, when you play this card to evolve your little Milcery, or is it Milcery? That is the question. Let me know. If you evolve that little fella, you may search, you may have each player draw one card. Okay, I could see the Alcremie Alakazam combo, I know. The opponent will say, I'm not gonna draw, but if they don't see the Alakazam coming with Turbo Patch, they might be in a situation where they, I don't know. I wonder. The Alakazam with like 6, I'm just thinking about Alakazam once again. I would really want to make this deck work. If the opponent has 6 cards in hand, he slaps 180 for 2 energies. Yeah, it's not too shabby. How to get the opponent more cards in their hand. Oh yeah, we have that card from, I don't know which set it is, but it is the Surprise Box. The Surprise Box could help out with Alakazam, putting more and more cards into the opponent's hand. Imagine, going back to the Alakazam here, imagine, you do Reset Stamp on the first turn of the game, the opponent has 6 cards. Then you play some of your amazing Surprise Boxes when the opponent sees at least coming, maybe with Green's Exploration, getting 2 of them simultaneously, and then bam, out of nowhere, the opponent has 8 cards, then you're already slapping 8, 16, 270, ooh! I see something working with Alakazam, I definitely see, I see it working out. Because hand control in the opponent's hand, you can control that with some cards. We have Marnie, we have Reset Stamp, we have Surprise Box, we even have a card like in the form of Erica that every player draws 3 cards, right? Or may draw 3 cards, I don't know. There's some potential there. We have Machamp here. Also a very significant amount of damage. 20 damage for every fighting type Pokemon in your discard pile. If you make the deck work, let's imagine there are 15 fighting types in your discard pile. You actually slap 300 damage. You also hit weakness against Zacian, by the way. And you can rely on Karate Belt. So just make a deck like 2 Dedanis, maybe even 3 Dedanis, 4 Research, a ton of Pokemon, and you're good to go. Also, you need to get Machamp out. That's the only part I don't like. Stage 2s. Why are they so hard to get out? There's a Donphan 120 for 1 energy? Really? It reminds me of the days of Donphan Prime when the channel actually started. Let me know if you guys remember that. Earthquake 120 does 20 to each of your own bench Pokemon. Okay. Earthquake for 1 energy. If only you would have slapped 170, then you would be awesome. Okay, Hitmontop. If you played Bea from your hand during your turn, 80 more damage. Yeah, I don't think it's still... 80 damage plus 50 damage still doesn't one-shot Eternatus VMAX. Terrakion, 80 damage. If you have a Stadium card, if there's any Stadium card in play, you slap 160. 160 is close. With a Vitality Band, you actually one-shot Eternatus VMAX. You need like 3 energies to do that, but I've seen worse things happening. We have Karate Belt, we have a Touch of Turn, so if you can wait 1 turn and let something like a Jirachi blow up, you might have yourself an answer against Eternatus VMAX. Moving forward, we have a Mudsdale you don't want to check out. We have Graplocked. If this Pokemon used a Headlock during your turn, additional 120 damage. So if it survives, it can go crazy, but it will not survive. And also the effect, attacker effect gets reset if the opponent is using the Boss's Order. So we have Galarian Surfetch'd V. Once during your turn, when this Pokemon moves from the active slot all the way, from the bench to the active slot, you may move any number of fighting energies to it. So same ability like Burning Road, Heatran GX, or Tapu Koko GX with the Arrow Trail did before it. So absorbing the energies and then go crazy. Okay. If only like, maybe you can use Groudon, attack, attach 2 energies from the bench to something, then swoop into the active position and go crazy. Maybe that could be an answer. Also, an answer against Eternatus, but against other decks, I don't know. You only slap 220, actually 200, and with the Fighting Dojo 240 if you're behind in prize cards, but you cannot even mid Vitality Band and Galarian Zigzagoon, maybe. It's tricky, but we might get there. There's a Sableye. Sableye used to be like very good in the TCG. Choose one of the opponent's attacks. The defending Pokemon cannot use that. Yeah, this is not the best Sableye ever. Drapion V. They actually select very strange Pokemon to become V Pokemon. I think about Galarian Stunfisk all the way to like Drapion, or maybe, yeah, it's strange. A Darkness type Pokemon, 130 damage, discard 2 energy attached to this Pokemon. Leave the opponent active Pokemon poisoned and paralyzed. I could see this working out in the Dark Box deck with Hydreigon. You attach all the energies there, you reset stamp to a low hand size, use 130 damage, and then out of nowhere the opponent is poisoned and paralyzed, and then you can finish the job later. So maybe as a potential one-off, it's still not the best card in town. There is a Sandile that needs 4 cardless energies. It seems like a fan-made card, yeah? Discard 3 cards from the top of the opponent's deck. Oh yeah, I see where this is going. You could be playing Hydreigon Sandile Mill. Yeah, I just said that. Sandile Hydreigon Mill. Attaching all those energies. Twin Energy. And then the Darkness Energy. And then bam, discard the top 3 cards. I know it will never survive, but it's way too clunky. It's way too clunky. But could be as a one-off in the Dark Box deck to just make sure if the opponent has a few amount of cards, send up your Sandile and win that way. Could be working out. We've seen worse things happening, right? Crocodile. Yeah, there's also discards cards. Discard the top 3 cards from the opponent's deck. Okay, this is better. This is better for a Twin Energy. So we have a new Mill dude. Although I do still prefer Toxtricity with Glimwood Tangle with the Risk Taker. Ladies and gentlemen, search your deck for an item card, reveal it, and put it in the hand with the Trubbish. But then, Garbodor is back. The Pokemon Company loves Garbodor. You know that already. 30 damage times the number of tool cards in your discard pile, and then you shuffle them all back. So imagine how decks play with Victini Prism Starve with fire energies. The exact same thing, but it multiplies way quicker. If you have 12 tool cards in your discard pile, I know it seems crazy. If only the Rodents were back from like the Ultra Prism set, it would be fun, but no. Listen to me. If you have like 12 tool cards in your discard pile, you slap 360 damage, one-shotting anything. So if you can work toward that goal and do it twice, you win the game. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Garbodor is good. You can use it for Twin Energy. And if only Adventure Back was still here. Adventure Back from Lost Thunder being rotated out does suck, but we do have other ways to just go deeply into the deck, finding our tool cards. Like Jirachi, you can find them, then you can discard them. Who knows? I have a high hopes for Garbodor as a one-price deck. You can use triple accelerated energy or you can use twin energy. It's a very significant attacker, and you can never deck out because you always get your tool cards back. You could be playing a huge amount of tool cards for, say, like Air Balloon at one point when you need to get out of the active position with your Trubbish, or maybe you can use Giant Bombs to get additional damage output. If you are not putting it in the discard pile, you can use it. I have a lot of hope for Garbodor. So new one-price deck with Garbodor, amazing. Galarian Berserker, flip 3 coins. If you flipped at least one head, your opponent reveals their hand. For each head, discard a trainer card you find there. Ah, this is fantastic for mill decks. Just picking out the boss's orders, and then use the mill archetype. If only Oranguru was around, then you could make something work with this. But Oranguru is not around. We do have Excadrill. Excadrill that can shuffle back 3 or 4 cards from the discard pile. Yeah, I do have a little bit of potential. I see a little bit of potential in Berserker. Coin flip base, but still. We have Aegislash-V, the Pokemon from the Kalos region, joining forces here in Sword and Shield. How fantastic. Okay, Aegislash-V. You can slide that directly into like ADP decks. Will it work out? Or maybe in those Lucario Melmetal decks. 130 damage. Ignore all effects on your opponent's active Pokemon when doing this damage. Okay, we have an answer against the Decidueye. What can you do? You can play Duraludon. It's probably the better answer, but this could go through any effect. So that could mean you can play Galarian Zigzagoon and then knock out the Decidueye in one hit, because it doesn't care about any effects on the opponent's active Pokemon. Also, let's say Obstagoon. Yeah, Obstagoon counter. The Obstagoon uses Obstruct. Who cares about Obstruct? Kaslack. And then, yeah, this could be an Obstagoon counter. For sure. You can use the attack twice, and this could be awesome. Next up is the Aegislash-V Max. 160 damage. And you slap 30 more damage for every prize card you've taken. You have taken. Typically, in ADP decks, you take a lot of prize cards very quickly. Like, you knock out of the Dane 3 prize cards, and then you knock out something else, and then you win. I don't know if there's any room for this, but imagine you've taken 5 prize cards, right? I know it seems bad, but at the point when you're already taken 5 prize cards, you're better off using Boss's Orders on a weak target, but still, imagine. 5 prize cards have been taken. That means you slap out a 310 damage with like the buff from Ultra Creation, that 340. Aegislash slapping a lot of damage around. Who knows? ADP Aegislash. It's better using Zacian, by the way, but who knows? Still weak to fire, though. A new Duraludon. It's actually like Outrage that it has. 20 damage plus 10 more for every damage counter on it. If only everybody did not one-shot in the format. There's the Snorlax. I talked about it before on my Facebook page, facebook.com/ZapdosTCG. This card can allow you to draw cards until you have 7 in the hand, just like Tropical Beach, if it's in the active slot, which could be actually working out. I wonder if like putting this in the active slot in the early phase of the game is better than using the Talonflame V and Baby Blast. Or maybe you don't play either of them. Maybe it will prove out that they are not worthy, but having an ability in the form of like Tropical Beach is busted, for sure. We'll see definitely some play in certain archetypes. Moving forward, we have the Round archetype, if you are familiar with the TCG. Round, dishing out 20 damage for every Pokemon you have in play that has the attack Round. And this also has a Round. So I wonder if there are any more Pokemon with Round, or maybe they get released maybe in the other sets. But Round, this is very stackable, like 50 damage for everyone with Round in play. This already is a Pokemon with Round, that's 50. Imagine your bench having like 5 Pokemon with Round. Yeah, that is 6 Pokemon in total, that's 300 damage. Still doesn't one-shot Eternatus, but still, we have high hopes. Now to the trainer cards, we have the Drone Rodon. Look at that, it looks very shiny to be honest. Drone there are ahead, they are with their time, alright. Look at your opponent's hand, then look at the top card from your opponent's deck and return it to the top of their deck. You have a little bit of insight, I guess. I don't know what that is used for. Maybe an attack that says if the opponent's top card is something, then you can play these cards. Telephoto Scope, this is a busted tool card, I'm gonna say this right now. The attacks of the Pokemon this card is attached to dish out 30 more damage to the opponent's bench V Pokemon and GXs. Alright. Okay. If the opponent is playing a lot of V Pokemon, let's say you use a Welder onto a Salamence, attach of the turn, and then 30 on everything, or actually 60 on all the GXs on the bench. Ooh. That is very scary, right? Or maybe you could be playing none other than Cramorant. Cramorant V turns suddenly into the Crobat Killer. Fantastic, just a one-off in your deck together with Cramorant ensures you to just knock out some Crobats on the bench. So I love this card so much. There's even other options like Enteleon VMAX, there's the Decidueye as well, so a good card nevertheless. I even thought this was on non-basic Pokemon, or actually non-V Pokemon, it's only on V and GXs. Otherwise it would be insanely broken. The Memory Capsule, already explained that. Bea. Yeah, Bea. Discard the top 5 cards of your deck, attach all energy cards. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Fighting Energy Acceleration. Busted card right there. Attach all energies you find there to your bench fighting type Pokemon in any way. Terrakion Dex. Anybody up for Terrakion Dex? Eternatus V will definitely not appreciate that. But fighting decks are here. Bea is here. Pokegears. Run 4 Pokegears, 4 Jirachi, 4 Bea. You definitely will get energy acceleration because you thin out your deck with Stellar Wishes. Yeah, fighting types will have it good. Leon. Remember Professor Kukui from Sun and Moon? Well, this is even better. Slap 30 damage to the opponent's active this turn. You cannot draw 2 cards like with Kukui, but 30 extra damage will allow crazy one-hit KO machines like Eternatus VMAX to slap for 300 now. And with the Galarian Zigzagoon Eternatus VMAX might become the best deck in town if it is not already. Because with Galarian Zigzagoon you can one-shot any VMAX. The only thing you do is like Crobat, you don't find it, play all your insta-playable cards, and yeah, maybe you can find your Leon, play the Leon, bam, you win. Then we have League Staff, draw 2 cards. If Windon Stadium is in play, draw 2 more cards. Reminds me of the Coach Trainer. Very significant text here, because you need to find your Windon Stadium, and this is a stadium that if anybody has like a VMAX that they evolve into, you can heal 100 HP from that Pokemon. Don't know if this will see any play, because typically this is good to like heal off things from spread decks, but V Pokemon typically get one-shotted anyhow, so this combo with the League Staff, I don't know. NASA is for water type Pokemon. Choose up to 4 and any combination of water Pokemon and water energy. So, and then from your discard pile and put it, oh yeah, from the discard pile. You can get energies back as well as Pokemon. I do maybe as a one-off in the Frostmoth decks, you never know. Then there's Hero's Bath. This bat is amazing because any basic Pokemon in play takes 20 less damage from the opponent's attacks. This is like the saving grace card of tag team decks. Tag team decks will get it rough because Eternatus one-shots them. A lot of decks actually one-shot them. Now you can actually have Big Charm and the Hero's Bath, and out of nowhere you have like 50 extra buff. That means Eternatus might have a hard time to one-shot you unless they rely on the Leon, but that's not gonna happen every turn. So if basic Pokemon did not do even more buff, this is going to help them out. Also survivability for your weak HP Pokemon. For instance, as a little side note, your Snumps, if you are afraid, like imagine there's a format with Dragapult going crazy, yeah, and then they want to use the attack to one-shot your Snumps. Well, you can slap down Hero's Bath, which is not gonna work because it's damage counters, but imagine there's a Snipe deck that can yeah, 20 less damage on you. It doesn't matter, it's for basic Pokemon, helps out tag teams significantly. Or also I could think of one other option, playing this in the Fallings deck. Fallings V, we checked it out on the channel before. If you play this Stadium card, you take 20 less damage, and with all the Fallings V stacking onto that, as well as the Cape of Toughness, your little Fallings become like huge tanks. Maybe. Then, the Wash Water Energy. As long as it's attached to a water type energy, it prevents all effects of attacks of the opponent's Pokemon. So imagine all effects of the opponent done to the water Pokemon. Okay, I get this. No paralyzation, no discarding energies as an effect, no damage counters, all that. So it's gonna be fantastic trying this out. And some are cases where you're playing a water deck and you're afraid of certain special effects done to your water type. Then the last card is the Coding Metal Energy. The Coding Metal Energy is as long as it's attached to Metal type Pokemon, you have no weakness! Hooray! Saving grace for Metal type Pokemon. I'm a Baby Blind player, so I don't like this. That means Luke Metalization now has an answer to just get rid of their weakness entirely. In the past, they had Metal Frying Pan. Now they don't have to worry about Centiskorch going crazy all the time. This will help out. Getting rid of your weakness, definitely searchable with Guzma Hala. Or maybe you play 2 hard copies in here and play research to find them. It's going to be fantastic. So that is my summary, or actually review, of the Shocking Volt Tackle set. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to mouse the like button. As always, subscribe for more content. And I will be giving away one code card. Actually, not a code card. It's a coupon for the Card Market. So Card Market is one of my sponsors. If you are a European player, then there is one sort of tax that I need to apply here. Let's see here. Maybe I can do it like this. So we're gonna just go back to this screen. Hooray! Yeah, there's no game to capture because TCGO is not on, but here is the way I can actually put on the code. We're gonna put this code right over here, right in the middle. So claim this code. It's a Card Market code for €5. If you actually claimed it, if you are the person, the lucky person, let me know in the comments what you're gonna buy with it on Card Market. And definitely check out my sponsors, PokemonStore.com, for your TCG online content that you need. Like if you need like code cards for like Zacian or maybe the Pika Run League Battle Box, anything is possible on PokemonStore.com to complete your TCGO adventure. And Card Market, of course, for the physical copies of cards that you want from Europe. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll be seeing you guys in the next video very, very shortly. Peace out.